Valley people.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so, okay, a question I have is, let's start with this. From a strategy perspective, kind of a marketing perspective, I really want people to be able to walk away with some stuff right now, because you're so good at that. Like, tell us, what is going on right now? What is hot right now? What's converting right now?
Notes.
Okay.
This is the kind of girl I am, because I'm brilliant, but I CRS, can't remember stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so a couple things that I think is really, really important to know. Two things, content marketing and video. Our friend that produces video is going, I don't know where he is, but this would totally be a layup. But Rico, this would be up there. So, video as an industry, video marketing will be a $190 billion industry by 2025. Content marketing is set to exceed $500 billion by 2027. So what that means is whether or not you like video, whether or not you look good on camera, whether or not you have a good angle or a bad angle, each one of you in here is now a video content marketer. You are sharing whatever you would like to share in plain English, like everyone is dumb, so that they can understand and connect with you, right? What does that really mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I gotta do video marketing. Does that mean I have to show everyone how great my life is? No. In the last 2 years, we've seen a dramatic shift in that. Things don't have to be perfect, they have to be real. Do you have to be dancing on TikTok and doing crazy dances to hip hop? No. No. My favorite content person that I met a few years back is a woman by the name of Glenda Baker. Glenda Baker has one of the best TikTok accounts. She is not dancing. She is talking to someone. She's being interviewed. That process and that way of talking to an audience and building, she's just storytelling. She talks about the time she spent her commission on a fancy purse and a fancy car. And that if she had bought a house, she would have been able to sell that house for $20 million. That car depreciated assets, and she doesn't even use the purse anymore, right? So these types of stories work really well on social media.
It's how expensive is it though? I mean, I remember we were talking, Dave Meltzer and I, doing this thing with Gary Vee, and he was saying that, and this is right before COVID, so this is right at the beginning of 2020. You talk about getting on a platform, right, and building an audience, and at that time, he was saying that, like, going back to the years before, he's like, if you were to do it, 3 years before, and you budgeted $40,000, and you wanted to go from 0 to 500,000 followers, $40,000 was what you needed. And then it was like the next year it had gone up to almost $100,000. Year 3, so like when we were talking to him, he was saying if you wanted to go from 0 to 500,000, you had to figure $250,000 is what you'd have to invest in a year in content marketing and in buying ads. Do you really have to do that?
There's going to be
and by the way, Gary is the best at making it look like everything's organic. He has 10 people that just work on him. So like it is totally not organic.
Number one, it's not organic. I love Gary, right? Like I've sent a ton of people to do deep dives with him. He's a great guy. Here's the funny thing about Gary, right? When I tell people he's married and has 2 kids, they go, what? For being the most public person we see, we know nothing about that side of him. Why? Because the voice and the narrative that he has created in the market is he's this like scrappy guy doing yard sales on the weekends, right? Teaching people how to flip stuff from Walmart and Target. It's not good or bad, but I mean, how many of you guys have a cell phone? Congratulations, you're all micro content producers. I'm so excited for you. At the end of our talk, I'm going to give everyone a little accountability challenge.
Okay, good.
But what I think it is we worry, right? How many times have you gotten to try and record a video, do a webinar, do a YouTube, do something, and we were in a room once when you were trying to record, remember? How many times you did it? We had to do it like 3 or 4 times, and then I just gave up, and I was like, I'm just going to go for it, and if I mess up, it's fine. And I think we get this image of our head of what it needs to look like. And just remember this, everything is phase 1. And then phase 1A.
Yeah.
B, C, D, E, then A, B, 1, 2. Like, you can keep going.
I have to say, that's been the hardest thing for me, though, because I grew up, my family grew up, my mom was a model, like we grew up around the entertainment business, all that kind of stuff. I worked for networks and this and that and the other, and everything had to be so perfect and pretty and produced. So to hold up a camera and have it look, just like whatever, was really hard for me. And I think I still struggle with it. I think it has to be produced more.
I think that like there's so many apps for your phone that you can use, right? If you really want to look beautiful and kind of photoshopped, turn on beauty mode on TikTok and record on TikTok and save that video. You're going to look great, right? There's not going to be wrinkles. You're going to look phenomenal. Teeth are going to be wired. It's going to be great. You can use Facetune video app. There's like 17 different little widgets and apps that you can use. But at the end of the day, you're worrying about what you're going to put out. You have this great idea. I hear Scott say so many different things, right? Greg talked about yesterday, quote had been shared, 17 million times, right? Yeah. But nobody really knew it was him.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. While you're obsessing about how great you look on camera, someone else is sharing that idea. And in the absence of information, people don't know that you're an option. So...
In the absence of information, people don't know you're an option. That is great.
Yeah. And if you're not sure what that means, it's going to be really simple. Your homework at some point today is to whip out your phone and Google yourself. I'm going to ask you two really simple questions. Are you there and do you like what you see? Are you there? Meaning, is your name showing up? And then click on the news, click on the images, see what's there. Or is there some other dude, remember our other Scott Duffy? Is there somebody else that has your name? Do you need to rethink that strategy? And do you like what you see? The answer is going to be really simple. It's like a dating app, right? Dating apps there's no maybe, it's yes or no, right? That's like my 5-second test. Are you there? Do you like what you see? If you're there, congratulations, right? Now, if you don't like what you see, you have an option. You're hiring incredible resources like Trisha and Rico to help you enhance that, to hire a Jerry to help you figure out how to show up better for what you want. But it really starts with that simple concept of, what do you want people to see when they go to find you? Because chances are we've looked each other up already being in this room for the new people, right? You're like, who's this person? I'm gonna go see. What are they all about?
Yeah.
And you have an opportunity to control or put out the narrative that you would like, right, with content.
Yes.
However, caveat to that.
Yeah.
As we've seen in different spaces, you have to be able to back up whatever it is that you're putting out there, right? So I'll give you a great example. People go to my LinkedIn all the time, right? Now, I was a corporate suit like my husband.
Yep.
Loved working in data, loved it. I had reviews that date back to like when LinkedIn first came online and like forever ago, right?
2005.
Yeah, so from 2005 to present, you can go back there and you can see reviews of how I was. Now, what's interesting is there's a through line of character. Maresa's energetic, she's consistent, like there's all sorts of great things. It didn't just appear overnight all in 1 year, right? So investing in the longevity of that early meant that no matter where I went, when I knew a hiring manager, a recruiter, or someone was looking for me, I was kind of a badass everywhere, right? And there was consistency in that narrative.
Yeah.
If you can't deliver, and there's different messaging out there, you're gonna have a problem.
So true, and I think you talk about searching and seeing, liking or not liking what you see. We have a guy that we work with, Jason Barnard, who is the #1 guy. I mean, he is the #1 guy on the planet when it comes to Google Knowledge Panels. And I really believe that the Google Knowledge Panel is your new website homepage. People do a search, and when how you come up is going to be the first impression that they have of you. And now with the Google Knowledge Panel, you can have pictures, it links to your videos, it links to your audio, it links to your podcast, it links to everything. And there's ways that you can kind of game Google by being really strategic to make it, like if you go to mine, if you search me, like if you guys were to do it now on the phone, you'll see my pictures come up, my bio comes up, my social media comes up, my videos come up, depending which browser you're on, if you're desktop or whatever, my podcast comes up, all this stuff. So you don't even have to go to my website. And I always believed that you're either doing one of two things. You're brand building or you're doing brand slaughter. I don't think there's anything in between. You're brand building or you're doing brand slaughter. It's everything from the way a person's introduced to the way they appear on search. I also just want to add one thing. Can you say that quote again that you just said a minute ago? Say it again.
In the absence of information.
In the absence of information.
People will make another decision.
You are not an option.
In the absence of information, exactly. And I want to add this one. The moment you stop contributing value to your network, you get replaced. The moment you stop contributing value to your network, you get replaced.
Absolutely. And I think each person in here, right? My assumption is everybody who has an unlimited marketing budget.
As a what?
Unlimited marketing budget.
Call anyone.
Unlimited? No. Okay, great. So my sense is that among us right here is a series of thought leaders, right?
Yeah.
You all have contributions, you all have things inside of you. I talked to a bunch of you. All of you have unique stories. I did some research on you guys. These cool things you're telling me right here, nobody else knows. Nobody knows you donate to charity. No one knows that you care about cancer. No one knows of all the volunteer work you do in your community to enrich those around you. Guess what? People care. People want to know that. They want to go to that About Us page and they want to see, oh my God, Rich donates all his time to da-da-da-da. They want to know these things. And again, the statistics show, if you have two vendors that are identical in nature, same industry, let's talk roofing, right? If you're in a roofing industry, plumbing, HVAC, right? Two vendors, same thing, same services, right? One talks about their service in the military. They were a veteran, they give back, they do that. The other one doesn't have that. They have a generic About Us thing. People will select the one that has a story.
Yeah.
They want to feel, I call it slacktivism, they want to feel like they're helping without helping.
Slacktivism.
I gave $5 on a GoFundMe and I now am a philanthropist, right? so if I can help somebody.
I love that.
One of my favorite realtors on the East Coast, she retired, she's now 89 years old. She used to do 0.25% on every deal to charity. Society, she was selling $8-10 million penthouses and properties in New York back in the day. It's a brilliant strategy. Brilliant, right? Because other people wanted to feel like they were helping charity, but without having to go to a gala and bid on something they didn't want.
Yeah.
Right? So solve that problem.
Yeah.
Right? So
right. And I think it's about number one, you really know who your target is. Yeah. You really know who your customer is. But your target and your customer today, they want to know about you. They want to know, not only do you sell insurance or you do this, but I care about this, right? This is what I believe in, this is what I stand for. And I think that people are more likely today to do business, especially when they find you online, to do business with people that, people who are like each other tend to like each other. So if we're able to connect around a common something, that's incredibly empowering. The problem is we don't put that stuff out. We put out what we think we're supposed to put out to make our business look great, but today people don't just buy the business, they buy the person. And that's what's so different.
And that's also scary too, right? Because as you're investing in the people in your company, Lord help us, make sure no one makes a mistake, right?
Yeah.
Right? And part of that is really understanding that you're not bragging, you are branding. You're not bragging, you are branding. You are letting people know that you are there. You are letting them know who you are. And the best thing is, everyone always talks about your target audience, Let's talk about people you want to exclude. There has been no time other than the past 3 years that I have worked exclusively on audience exclusion. Who do I not want? You know who I don't want? I don't want people that are gonna waste my time. I don't want to do 7 calls with someone to have them be like, send me a proposal, and then you know me, I have proposal tracking software. So I just watch it. I watch how many times they open it. I watch them forward it to another agency. And I just giggle, right? And now, because it's funny, because they'll come up to me and they give me every excuse in the world. And it's like, guess what? Most of you in here are doing some really exceptional transformational work, right? You're doing really cool things. You are doing things that everyone else really can't do in the way that you do them, right? And guess what? If you are taking someone on a journey that they have never been on before, they don't get to ask you a question because they don't know what to look for. They don't know how to interview for it because if they did, they wouldn't be talking to you. So the quicker you can exclude these people that are wasting your time, the better off you'll be overall in your businesses, right? And the quicker that you can use video and your website and your social media in a purposeful and intentional way to connect with your customers, you're gonna win. Your deal size is gonna be bigger. The time to close is gonna be quicker.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have to take people to like 700 dinners to figure it out. It's just gonna be like a fit. And again, set up referral partners, set up networks with other people that don't mind you. Some people love that, right? Like I know some people, they love taking people to dinner. Not me. Set up a referral network and make that passive and generate some soft income from making those intros.
Jeff.
You know, I feel like Scott and I have been on a very similar journey since 2017 or 16 when we met. And it's funny because this was like right when, you know, the Gary Vee started to pop up and like all the influencers started to pop up. And I started seeing the trend. And I hired someone back in 2017 and like that person was holding me accountable and showing me what type of content to create. And I made a pledge to myself that I still haven't broken since 2017, which is to post every single day at least one piece of content on my Facebook. And you know what? People would always be like, why? And by the way, I would always be like, why? So many times in the beginning when it was just my mom liking my stuff, you know? And I just kept doing it, and it's crazy because I look back now, and like now I've been able to become Google verified. Facebook reached out to me to become a Facebook creator. And now the why has come. And I will tell you that when it comes to building a personal brand, it's the best investment you'll ever make. And it's forever, right? The internet is forever. Everything you build, it's evergreen content. It's incredible stuff. Like the stuff you're doing that people are working with is so inspirational. And I just want to, you know, just because I care about the quality of the thing I'm telling you, please, you know, like take yourself seriously because, you know, one day you might want to sell your business, you might want to do whatever. I'm negotiating big deals and all I have to do is send them my Google verified link and they see everything with my blue check mark. And it changes the conversation.
And it doesn't have to be expensive. So as an example, Jasper and I start, so I live up where we see the tile roofs up there. So I live over there and we look down at the island and we start at my house and we walk down to Balboa and Jasper has the camera. We take about a half day to do this. We walk down Main Street where the Village Inn was the other night. We walk down this boardwalk. We take the ferry over here. I mean, how many times have we done this? We take the ferry, we walk down here, we walk across the street to the bridge, we walk to the end of the pier, and then we're done. And the whole time, whatever, I'm just talking, right? Or I'll stop and I'll talk and whatever. And what he's able to do is create 6 months of content for me in that half day. Because what happens, he takes all these different things and he cuts them into 60 seconds to about 3 minutes, right? And then what we do is we take that, I send it to my agency overseas, Helpware. I send it to this agency. What they do is they transcribe everything, okay? So within 2 or 3 days, everything's transcribed. They create, for every one of the things I do, they create a little blog post, right? And it's it's not expensive because they've already transcribed it. It's actually a robot that transcribes it. The editor goes in and just cleans a little bit up, right? So they take it. So now I have a blog or I have an article. We take a quote out of it. We make a quote board. So now I have a video, I have an article, I have a blog, I have a quote board. My podcast is, I call it like an audio experience because it's not just sitting in front of somebody in a microphone. It's like these are interesting conversations I have. So I just throw all this stuff in there too. So in a half a day, we do 6 months of content. I have an agency schedule it and run it, and that's it. I mean, like that's all that I do. And that entire process, I'm just telling you, the entire process of all that content creation may cost $5,000.
Whoa.
For 6 months because of how we figured out how to do it. So it does not have to cost a lot of money. Kedma.
Oh, I mean, I just love this. I love you. I love everything you guys do. So what I'm hearing a lot is just get on there. I'm curious for the people who are on there. Can you tell me all the things that are creating brand slaughter. Because I know you can go on and you can be like, what the heck are they doing? So what are people doing wrong that already have an audience, a social media platform? You know, what are we doing wrong that you could just nail and say, these top 3, 5, 10
Sure.
such. Okay.
So a couple things you can do. First thing, there's a great tool, brandyourself.com.
Yep.
Brandyourself.com, easy peasy, it'll run an analysis. You can essentially kind of control the first couple pages of Google results, right? Like you can look at what's there, you can submit your links, connect to profiles. I happen to have like a pretty broad strategy where I tell people it's just like kind of sign up for everything and have a profile everywhere, right? What I mean by that is, if you're not an author, it's okay. Write a 10-page ebook with like a list of places to get resource. Do it because you'll have some SEO from Amazon, right? Like, but that'll tell you, here's all the things about you. Are these positive or negative? Remember we did this exercise and we looked positive, negative, right? What you'll see is it'll tell you things that could be potentially perceived, right? So I do work with some NFL players who work in the faith space, right? We had to do some cleanup on some things that they had out there, right? And cleanup was lots of posts with foul language, etc. Depending on your audience, right? Number one, are you listening to your audience? Or are you just like selling the product you want to sell? Or are you listening to what they want? Biggest mistake.
Yeah.
We sell this thing that's so like, this is the best thing ever, but no one wants it, right? Number two, pay attention to the comments or the messages, the direct messages that you're getting from people. Number three, ask your audience questions. So something that I shared last night with people and I'll share with you guys, my favorite engagement strategy, like on Instagram or TikTok or any of those channels. If someone follows you and you look at their profile and you're like, dude, this looks really cool, ask them, do a video and be like, hey, Mark, thanks for the follow. I noticed that you're from North Carolina. Can I ask you, like, how did you find me? And first of all, the person's gonna be blown away because you use their name. Second thing they're going to do is be like, oh, I saw you on so-and-so's podcast and I thought I'd give you a follow. So you start to source where people are coming from, and keep in mind there are 1,500 plus social networks.
Yeah.
And we only focus for whatever reason on 5. I'm not sure why we do that.
Yeah.
But like, go to the next doors of the world. You know, you're going to laugh, but like some of the best SEO and stuff I've ever gotten is from like ads I've put on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Right? Use tools to help you rethink your content, right? Greatest tool ever, Rich and I know about. It's called Quillbot. Have you guys heard of Quillbot?
Quillbot.
Quillbot, $10 a month. Quill, Q-U-I-L-L bot. Now, say you have a blog post and it's pretty dry, right? Paste it in there and you say you have an option. Make it creative, make it longer, make it shorter, make it funner. And it'll rewrite the entire thing for you. Okay? Cool. So you're stuck, you can't be brilliant today, it's content day and you have nothing, that's great. Go in there, repurpose your stuff that you've already got. Quillbot. Second thing, you have a topic you want to write about, you go to phrase.io. It's going to create a content brief for you. That content brief is going to give you keywords associated with the topic that you want to write about. It's going to give you articles that are current. It's going to show you those links. It's going to help co-draft some of that article for you. It's a fantastic tool. Jarvis, most of you guys know about Jarvis, so I feel like it's an AI tool as well. Can help transcribe stuff for you. Quillbot's my favorite though, because you can literally take the same article and write it 10 different ways for 10 different audiences. So if I have a really dry article on strategy and I'm trying to reach creatives, I hit creative and it makes that article more fun and playful. Fantastic
So
tool.
many questions for you.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I've got to run and pick something up, but you're gonna stay up here.
Yeah.
Jeff is gonna finish us out right here. The two marketers in the room. Give me a big hug. I'm gonna see you in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Hey. By the way, I want to come over here and say this. So, Maresa, I'm sorry, I might embarrass you a little bit. Maresa has a book coming out later this year, and so she's gonna do the whole social media thing, right? And everything that she's talking about, she already does it. She's gonna do more of it, and she's gonna be in front of a lot of people. number one, if you have audiences that can benefit from this information, we need to get Maresa on a ton of stages. Number two, Maresa is concerned about the way that about her presentation and her presentation style, which makes her nervous about getting in front of people like this, in front of these groups. Is that crazy? Is she not the best? You are phenomenal. You're phenomenal.
I never got that from you.
Lean into it. You are amazing.
I kind of black out, so if you ask me later what I was talking about, I won't be able to tell you. I won't. Oh, good. Someone did. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Absolutely. So, and the book is a little aggressive in title. I apologize if foul language is offensive. It came at a time where I was very frustrated with people. If you pay me.
Yeah. F you pay me.
If you pay me, build your brand leadership and thought leadership in 10 minutes a day.
So before I get greedy and ask her questions, what do you guys got? Who's got questions?
I have a good one. I have a good resource. So there's a company called Snazzy.aa, and they were bought. They were bought out by Unbounce. So it's now called. I wrote it down for you guys. It's called Smart Copy. Now, have you ever been trying to come up with your mission statement, vision statement, a hook, or an email, a subject line, and you're like, oh, I can't think of anything cool? You put in the topic, you put in your business, you put in like a paragraph about what you do, the audiences you're going to go after, and it's going to generate copy for you. Here's the way that you use AI tools. You don't just depend on the AI. The AI copy is for inspiration, and then like you add, it's like, they're going to bake the cupcake, and then you put the frosting and the cherry on it, or whatever you're into, sprinkles or whatever, right? So if you get stuck, it even helps you come up with landing page copy, because Lord knows, like, as creatives too, some days we just don't have it in us, right? And even if you're not creative and you're like, I don't know what to put on my website, it'll spit out an entire landing page for you. It'll put out, pitches to VCs, so if you're trying to raise money and you're like, I'm stuck, it'll put together these things based on, kind of, I'm not going to go full nerd, but like there's a database and stuff that it's pulling from in real time. Incredible tool. That's how you use AI. Most stuff that people call AI, like a chatbot, is not AI. It's programming language with if-then statements. It's not. Joe Michelle looks at me because he knows, right? We're like, everyone talks about AI. The problem when you put AI, by the way, into a Salesforce is that most companies that do that have to hire 25% more salespeople because there's false positives from the algorithms that people are selling as like marketing. Jerry knows too, right? So be careful with what you look at as AI, because everyone puts AI in their stuff and it's like, it's just not AI. But there's power in using it and then adding your human touch on top of that, because that can set off a whole series of brainstorms for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think I use something called Jarvis.
Yeah. So it's similar. Yeah.
Yeah, so smart topic.
Yeah,
so like
it's subscription-based, but they will do Facebook ad copy, they'll do Google ad copy, they'll even write an article if you give it like, this is the title, this is the subject, this is the content I want to cover. Then you have that thing write it, you edit it like a human, then you put that in. I know.
Yeah.
My term paper, by the way, Quillbot, interesting tidbit, it will rewrite the copy so well. If you were to take copy from like, and I'm not suggesting you ever do this, but if you took it from somewhere and it rewrote it, it will 100% pass like a plagiarism check. This is not something I'm showing with my children, by the way. Just to be clear. Use wisely.
Well, the other thing too is that you want to set expectations, because if you copy, like, it's going to get you like 80%, right?
Yeah.
If you go through and modify, it's not going to have 100%.
I would tell you though to try Quillbot, because Quillbot's about 96%. It's terrifying. It's actually pretty terrifying. But the thing is like, again, these are all supplemental tools, right? These are like, you work out, you go to the gym. These are like your supplements. They do not replace exercise and regular commitment to marketing excellence, right? Like, and the biggest thing that's probably the most unsexy thing for us is the consistency of doing it. I would suggest, I think, posting once a day, good for you, not for me. That's my motto in marketing. I couldn't do it. I commit to posting at least 2 times a week, and if I do more than that, I'm pumped.
In my defense, right before the end of the year, I had so much going on, and I literally wrote a post that said, just so I don't break my Like,
Yeah.
for your street,
Yeah.
here's my post of the day.
So I tend to be more of like I will set the bar really low, knock that out of the park, and then go up a little bit more. But I have him, then I have Rico, and then I have you.
You're not going to like some of these answers.
You're really not going to like any of these answers. No, I mean, you know what's funny is we've been really testing something that we invested on too that's on AppSumo called Socialmonials. The reason we like that is because it's a scheduler that allows you to post within your content pillars, right? So if you're like, what the heck's a content pillar? It's really simple. Like starter would be like educational, inspirational, motivational, promotional, right? Those could be your 4 pillars if you're just starting out. Educate someone about your industry or topic. Inspire them with a past client win. That's promoting yourself.
Here's a good nugget too, because
Yeah.
you were asking about like what not to do, Kedma. You're saying what not to do. This is a great time to ask you: how much should people post about their personal life versus a pitch?
It depends on your industry. It totally depends on your industry. There are certain standards, right? Like, you know, I don't know that I want to see my financial advisor, like telling, you know, like I don't know that I need to see his house and his yacht and all that stuff, right? It depends on what the standard is, but I think when you show snippets of your personal life, you can go to my Instagram, it's Maresa SD. My formula is really clear. Work, family, frustration. It's very like curated. That's it. What I find is anger. When you are frustrated about something, someone cut you off in the parking lot, something that has nothing to do with your industry will trend. Rich and I were on bikes the other day. Like, I posted it this morning on Reels 15 minutes after we had like 2,600 views riding a bicycle, right? It's never the thing you think about. It's never the thing that you plan for, right? I can't, like, when I meet people and they're like, I want to go viral, and I'm like, let me refer you to one of my partners.
And that's another thing too. I mean, invest in learning how to
Yeah.
tell your story.
Yeah. 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 I was part of the beta test when it first came out, so I feel pretty lucky because I got in before everybody else did, but just really quickly to answer that. Yes, it's worth it because people will subscribe, and it goes into an email digest to people's inboxes. So that's why you want to do it. But to answer your question, Socialmonials I really like. I also use a third-party outsource to help post on some of the platforms where scheduling is not a thing. Some platforms are just not intuitive for it.
Facebook, for example, on your personal profile, if it's not what you use a third-party app, it's deprioritizes it for the
Yeah, so, and that's just to keep in mind, you know, you can pretty much get about 90% of it, but, you know, use like Pinterest and Tailwind. You know, there's certain schedulers that work for certain tools. As far as LinkedIn goes, you know, I think if your audience is business to business or business owners, or you're kind of do something, here's like the best tool that I've used, especially for sales, by the way. If you're trying to reach out to a certain type of person or personality and they post a little bit on LinkedIn, it's called Crystal Knows.
What is it?
Crystal Knows.
C-R-Y-S-T-A-L.
Now what Crystal Knows is going to do, that's correct. No, C, with a C. Crystal Knows with a K, yeah. Yeah. So what that will do, this is terrifying to tell you guys out loud, right? Are you ready? So you go to someone's LinkedIn profile. You use the Crystal Knows Chrome extension, and it will give you a personality assessment of that person. It will show you what would probably work in the prospecting process, the proposal process, the negotiation process, the close process. It is pretty darn accurate and terrifying.
I'm really excited.
That's what I was going to say. I went through the
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, so like educate, inspire, motivate, promote. Those are like the basics. And if anybody wants, like I do have like a Google Sheet that I share that has some pre-formulated questions that you can use. But you can build, right, your own pillars based on whatever you want. I just give those as a generic if you don't know where to start. It's like the easiest thing to do is to educate people like they're dumb. Assume everyone is dumb in the nicest way possible because you're doing them a solid. And then inspire them with client testimonials and people who have had success with you, or projects that have been great, or vendors that talk about you. Because the easiest way to talk about yourself is to have other people talk about you, right? I'd have Scott talk about me all day long. Why would I talk about myself when I've got him, right? Like, so then you move to the motivational, which is inspire people to action, right? So what I ask of you guys today to think about, because you guys are all here at this event, and I would say that it's been a great event. What do you guys think? It's been a great event. So are they in the room or not? Perfect. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. So when you get an opportunity, take a picture of yourself, but try to get them in the background without them seeing you. Okay? You're going to go on Instagram and you're going to tag them both. And you're going to say, having a great time, right? With Scott and Tony. They're not going to know what's coming. They're not going to, you can do an Instagram story, or you can do an Instagram post. I would prefer you do a video, but I understand that it's a lot of pressure to ask you to do a video. But I think that would mean the world to them, because they haven't asked anyone to post. They haven't asked anyone to tag. They don't think like that, right? They're here to be of service and to be committed to you. And that's the greatest gift that you can give them, right? The opportunity to have other people edify what they've done for us, right? Now, when it comes to these tools that I'm telling you about, if I mentioned, how many of you heard a tool that you thought was cool? How many of you are committed to at least trying to Google yourself and figure out if you like what you see or you don't? Already done. You're like, already done. All right. So here's the thing. When it comes to LinkedIn and going live and doing all of this stuff, right, what I have found to be super impactful is show up and try everything once. And then you're not going to like it and do it a second time. And you're not going to like it and do it a third time. And you're still not going to like it, but you keep doing it. Yeah, because that's the game. The entire game of digital marketing, social media, and brand narrative is doing all the crap you don't want to do. Because at the end of the day, if no one knows your story, if no one knows you're raising money, if no one knows that you have this awesome thing, if no one knows that you can take crypto and make it easy for normal people to understand, they're not going to know you're there, and they're going to continue to think that that industry is a bunch of people that have never worked a day in their life, that live in a basement, right? So your job is to educate them. You got Rico in the room, right? Rico, I have a question for you. If people in this mastermind came to you and said, hey, Scott mentioned this half day, or Jasper, hey, he mentioned this half day, you guys came up with a collaboration or something together for people where you guys could film and video and take pictures of people so that they could use that on their branding, right? Maybe the next mastermind, people come in a day early. Would you guys do that for people and put together a package for them? Yeah. And you know how to use that package? On your LinkedIn, on your Instagram, on your Facebook. Get some shots working at your laptop, right? I'm not looking, but I have great posture and I look photoshopped, right?
Woke up like this.
Right. I woke up like this, right? But what a great
woke up like this.
what a great opportunity, though, for people in this room to work together towards a common goal, right? I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there.
That's so true. $5 grand, 5 people, baby.
Yeah. Well, I will tell, I got to tell you a story because you guys got to hear this. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. 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 There's so many little things, but at the same time too, I was kind of telling everyone it's like a phase one, right? Like you kind of grow. Jasper, I have to tell you a story. So for those of you guys that don't know, I had a stroke back in March. The day before I did my stroke, I booked time and Jasper came to San Diego. Put him up in a hotel and he came down and I paid him to shoot some content for me. Not knowing that the next day when I went in to go get the vaccine, I had to get it because of the ache that I had. Vaccine, stroke.
Wow.
I was woman down from March to July. okay? The person that I called from my hospital bed was Scott. We were working on a project together, we were doing some things, and he was like, what do you need? He contacted my team figured it out. I ended up selling half the business, just because I couldn't. But here's the funny thing about that. I have always had weird reactions to praise. I have always had weird reactions to people saying nice things. Not because I don't think I'm worth it, because I love that. But I prefer to operate behind the scenes, right? Because when you're behind the scenes, you don't have to feel the pressure to look good all the time, to be pretty, to wear heels, to be like, I don't have to do any of that. I don't care if you know my name, but you know my work, right? That's always been my philosophy. What has been interesting is I have thought about a couple of clients that I was working with that are serving me. Chances are you guys have had these interactions with people or partners, right? I'm like, it's not a good thing. It's dead weight. It doesn't feel good, but you're still in these partnerships, right? I was in a hospital bed when I said anything under a certain line goes. Done. Right? Anything goes. Right? This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm worth. Right? And this is what I'm going to continue to do. Now, the reason I tell you that is don't let that type of situation be the determining factor for what you could have done in this moment. Because, like, the truth is like, we're all walking in this room with baggage. Right? It doesn't match, it doesn't coordinate, but it's okay. You know, it's all going in the cargo bin together. Right? But the chances are, right, that you are not serving your greater purpose. You are not serving your greater purpose because you are holding on to things, projects, and people that are not serving you right now. You are not holding on to your purpose because you are not serving yourself, right? You're holding on to projects, partners, and people that serve no purpose in your business because you are on a new path, you are on a better path, you are evolving. We are changing. Balance is absolute bullshit. The only time we're going to have balance and be like, this is when we're dead. Some days are going to be great, some days are going to be off, right? Like some days are just not going to be there, right? And all I can tell you is, if you're growing your business and you're going to build to 7 figures, I know for a fact that people are going to walk out of this room, people are going to hit their revenue goals or exceed their revenue goals. I know partnerships are happening. I know all of these things are happening. What I also know is this. We're not looking for balance, we're looking for peace. My life is chaotic, but I have peace. I have serenity. Right? I have this opportunity, and what I will tell you, when it comes to marketing and when it comes to developing your narrative online, sure, I can help, I can brand anyone and anything. But it has to be you for it to work. It has to be you. And if it's not you, it won't work, because when you show up in front of people, this glossy marketing or these beautiful blogs and you show up in front of people and it's not your voice, they're going to know you're full of it. They're going to know you're an imposter. People are so smart. Right? Especially Gen Z, these jerks, right? My daughter, right? She's the first one to be like, too much filter. I'm like, okay. Right? So, if there's anything that you've learned from today, and I thought I would share my content strategy with you, similar to what I designed for Scott, if you guys would like me to share it with you. And it just starts with making a video. Okay? So I'm going to write it out, and then I'll text it to whoever wants it. You ready? Okay. Oh, Lord Almighty. Where'd it go? All right. So I'm going to give the tools that I use, but you can use any number of the tools, Rev, or anything else. Okay? So the first thing you're going to do is going to make a long video. This long video could be educational, could be about yourself, whatever it is. Right? Long-form video. Long-form video is going to be about 20 minutes. Okay? Talk about something you love for 20 minutes. Something great that's happened in your business, how you've changed lives, whatever, right? We're going to use a tool called Descript. Have you heard of Descript? Yeah. So what Descript is going to do is Descript will give you an audio file, a video file, and a written transcription. Pretty cheap and cheerful. If you're low on budget, sign up for the trial and just knock it out in 7 days. It'll be fine, okay? Then you're going to take that audio. You can use Anchor and publish that audio as a podcast. Oh, I don't have a graphic designer. Go to Canva, look in podcasts. You can make a podcast cover, okay? it makes podcasts and it distributes it like on the different platforms, okay? Then you're also going to go to a tool called Audiogram. And it's Audiogram. And Audiogram is going to use that audio file. It's kind of those things where you see the lines when someone's talking and you'll put your picture on that, okay? Now, you're going to take that long video that you recorded, you're going to put it on YouTube. Okay? In that description, you're going to include, if nothing else, your website, how people can get a hold of you, whatever, right? You're going to create some shorter videos and snippets, break it up into 5-minute pieces if that's something you want to do. You're also going to go to Pinterest, upload that same picture to Pinterest, and link it back to your website or wherever you want people to go. You're going to take one of those like 5-minute videos, you're going to cut it down to 3 minutes. You can do it on your phone, by the way, so if you're like, I don't have editing software, you have a phone, relax, okay? Or you have Rico, or you have Jasper. You're going to put that on Instagram Reels. Okay? You're also going to take that same video, you're going to put it on TikTok. You're also going to take those shorter 5-minute videos and put them on YouTube Shorts. Now that transcript that you got from Descript that was written out, you are going to SEO optimize it with Jerry's advice. You're also going to turn it into an article and embed that long-form YouTube video that you started with. And you're going to use all of those assets to share on your social media. Like, you don't share them all in the same week, by the way. You do like one a week. That should give you about 13 weeks of content, right? That's about 12 weeks of content from one video. Now, if you're smart, you'll do one piece, and you have 3 other people in the company do the pieces, so you only have to do it once a month, right? That, for me, takes all in about an hour and a half. Hour and a half, that's it. Yeah, you're going to optimize that transcript for SEO. So you might add in some words, talk to Jerry, he can kind of guide you on that SEO stuff. But that's, yeah. And if you're not sure, and you've never looked at, have you used vidIQ? Yeah, so like vidIQ is something where you can look at top performing videos on YouTube and see what people put for it to rank and trend. You can see like what are all the things that they tagged. If you're wondering like, oh, what hashtags, it'll tell you, it'll make you sick, there's a lot of them. But that is a really simple, that's 90 minutes of my time a month that I spend on that. That's it. So that's the strategy.
That's mind-blowing stuff,
huh? Yeah, I can text it to anybody that wants it. It's one way to get everyone's phone number, right?
It's in the
I'm not going to go to the directory.
What?
You want it, you come up to me, I text it to you right now.
Oh, okay.
All right, thanks.
That's it.
Yeah.
Give her a hand, guys. All right, 4, 3, 2.
Hold on.
Ready for the vote?
Here. All right. So I'm going to send a call. All right, where is it?
4, 3, 2.
416.
416.